Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Board of Commissioners' regular meeting. Today is October 1st, 2025. It is 6 p.m. City Attorney, would you please lead us in the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance?
Our Heavenly Father, we seek blessings on the tasks before us. Bless our efforts with clear insight, our deliberations with wisdom, our work with clarity and accuracy, and our decisions with impartiality. We pray that our work this evening will find favor in your sight. This we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Brooks.
Here.
Vice Mayor Kerr.
Here.
Commissioner Taglerini.
Here.
Commissioner McGeehan.
Here.
Commissioner Gabayi.
Here.
All are present.
Thank you. Do we have before we do an approval of the agenda, there was one item that I was hoping we had discussed at our last meeting we could discuss again today, and that's in regards to our lobbyist. If we add that to the agenda, would everyone be in agreement?
Will this be a discussion or a vote?
It could be both. It won't be to hire a new lobbyist. That's not the discussion.
I'd be up for discussion. I had really wanted to meet RJ.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had a chance to make an appointment, but we could have a discussion.
If you're okay with that, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Then do we have an approval for the agenda?
Does that include the consent agenda?
We haven't got to that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of the discussion on the lobbyist.
Do we have a second?
Second?
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Vice Mayor Kerr.
Yes.
Commissioner Taglerini.
Yes.
Commissioner McGeehan.
Yes.
Commissioner Gabayi.
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next on the agenda is proclamations. I will read the proclamation. Florida City Government Week, October 20th through the 26th, 2025. Whereas city government is the government closest to most citizens and the one with the most direct daily impact upon its residents. And whereas municipal government provides services and programs that enhance the quality of life for residents, making their city their home. And whereas city government is administered for and by its citizens and it's dependent upon public commitment to the understanding of its many responsibilities. And whereas city government officials and employees share the responsibility to pass along the understanding of public services and their benefits. And whereas Florida City Government Week offers an important opportunity for elected officials and city staff to spread the word to all citizens of Florida that they can shape and influence this branch of government. And whereas the Florida League of Cities and its member cities have joined together to teach citizens about municipal government through a variety of activities. Now, therefore, I, Anne Marie Brooks, Mayor of the City of Madeira Beach, do recognize October 20th through the 26th, 2025 as Florida City Government Week, and the City of Madeira Beach encourages all citizens to support the celebration and corresponding activities passed and adopted by the City of Madeira Beach this first day of October 2025. Next on the agenda is presentations. We have a Chet presentation from Florida Representative Linda Cheney.
Good evening, everyone. State Representative Linda Cheney. You all are proudly in my district. I'm proud to represent you all, Madeira Beach. I don't know if Anne Marie had an opportunity, the mayor had an opportunity to speak with you all about this check, but Madeira and your neighbors have gotten some generous appropriations from the state in years past. This year was a little different. And that is because of the Johns Pass project. That's been funded for years, and your former city manager did not seem to get that project executed. So I did not feel comfortable putting more money into the city. And I let your mayor know that I'm sorry you weren't going to get any appropriations this year. And she advocated very passionately for the city and convinced me that she's going to oversee this project and that it would be okay to be able to fund any projects for you. And so we kind of negotiated a deal where I would fund a small project or apply for a fund for a small project for you all and monitor the Johns Pass project. What happened with that project is we were being told that it was being handled, that things were moving forward, that permits were being submitted. Well, we found out that was not true. And so I got on that from the state level, so all the state permits got through. Your mayor is now managing your consultants that are managing the project, so we found out we had to manage the managers. And now that that's all in place, I'm confident that next session, I'll feel comfortable bringing larger appropriations to you. But so for the good news, you did get some because of the passion of Mayor Brooks, because it was going to be zero. So I know this is a small check. It's $100,000 for your stormwater project. And expect to see a few more zeros next time, as long as that Johns Pass project gets moving along. Okay?
Thank you. Commission, could we all step down and have a picture with Representative Cheney?
Yeah. I've never been to a city meeting where there aren't people in the audience. I know, I was going to say, so this is like the drama-free zone. True.
Yeah, sure. Good. Perfect. Okay, it was on video, so just screenshot it, or do you know how to do that? Oh.
Let's see, I can't even read anymore. There.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, all right, 1, 2. There you go. Yeah, of course.
Next on the agenda is public comment. Public participation is encouraged. If you are addressing the commission, step to the podium and state your name and address for the record and the organization or group you represent. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes and do not include any topic on the agenda. Public comment on agenda items will be allowed when they come up. If you would like someone at the city to follow up on a comment or question made at the meeting, you may fill out a comment card with the contact information and give it to the city manager. Comment cards are available at the back table in the commission chambers. Completing a comment card is not mandatory. Do we have any public comment? With no public comment, we will move on to approval of the minutes. If the commission has had the opportunity to review the minutes, do we have any changes requested or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Do we have a second?
Second?
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner McGinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Gabagli,
Yes.
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes?
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. Any member of the Board of Commissioners can ask to pull a consent item for separate discussion and vote. I will read the items. Item A, amendments to a Clarion consult and software agreements. Item B, mowing and lawn maintenance services contract renewal. Item C, S. Renee Narlock recruitment proposal, advertising city manager position vacancy and other senior position vacancies. Does the commission have any comments on this?
I'd like to pull agenda item 9A, amendments to a Clarion consultant and software agreement.
Any other comments?
Should I move to approve the rest of the consent agenda items? And, yeah,
You can. Do we have a motion?
I would like to make a motion to approve consent agenda 9B and 9C.
Do we have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Gabagli,
Yes.
Commissioner McGinn,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Then next on the agenda will be amendments to a Clarion consult and software agreements.
Since I pulled it, I'll start us off. I don't have any issue with approving the amendments to the Clarion consultant and software agreements. I do have I'd like to bring up as in a discussion exactly whether we should continue to outsource this or to bring in a finance director. I did a little homework and I asked Claire to print it off for me. We can print it off for everyone else for the following workshop. But I'd like to discuss the need for the HR director and the need for the finance director, and consider combining those actually and having someone in-house that would carry both of those positions. In the package here, I just did an email to myself, basically. Well, it was email to Clara that provides the feasibility of the finance department to handle the HR duties in Madeira Beach. And I won't kid you, I used AI to come up with the bullet points on whether that is a good idea or not. So I'll let you read through that at your leisure if Clara can share those. I also did a search on the estimated residents in the different cities and townships within Pinellas County. And Madeira Beach in the 2024 consensus or census is 4,006. So the one under that is Indian Rocks Beach, and the one above that is Bel Air, the town of Bel Air. And they're very comparable at 3,700 or 4,300. So 300 residents more or less too. So it's within a 10% range. So then I went to the town of Bel Air budget for 2026 and printed out for their finance department what they're doing and their salaries and wages and what they outsource. The accounting on Bel Air, the town of Bel Air budget is proposed at $455,000. They do have a line item in here for accounting and auditing, and I know no one has a copy of this, so you will, and so we can talk about it at the next workshop. So their budget's total for the finance department is considerably higher, but when you break down the salaries and wages, I'm going to call it comparable. But the city of Indian Rocks Beach, they have a finance director, and his base salary is $123,000, $830, with a senior accountant. They also have a finance/HR specialist at $70,000 and a revenue officer. So their salaries are combined at $322,000. Now that's before all the FICA and retirement and whatnot, but their total finance department with a full-time finance director is $518,000. So I want to have this, of course, I want to share my research, but I want that to be part of the HR director discussion, because I really feel that adding a full-time HR director, they're going to be sitting on their hands quite a bit. So that's my opinion, so when we get to the workshop. But as far as the amendment, I would say that we move forward with that. So that's my 2 cents.
Do we have any public comment? Commissioners, do you have comments?
Commissioner Kerr, I know you said that you're going to provide that for us, but in your research, have you found that those 2 skill sets are in one person? How often does that happen?
What I found is it does happen. It happens. And I would encourage everyone to do research prior to the workshop. Don't just rely on my research, but Indian Rocks Beach, they have a finance/HR specialist.
But that's in the finance department. It's not the head chief finance officer.
That's the way I'm reading it.
Okay.
Right.
What I'm saying, it's not the chief finance officer himself. It's in his or her department.
It's in that
the
department.
Got
Yeah.
it.
I mean, we went down this path years ago when it was, and the residents asked for a full-time finance director, and Attorney Trask said that even though that was voted in, we could still outsource that. But it weighs heavily on me that the reason that we decided to do that was that a full-time finance director, we were told, was going to cost us between $140,000 and $180,000. Well, according to what's in Indian Rocks Beach it's $123,000 before payroll expenses and retirement. But I'm just thinking, if we have a demand for an HR director, I'd at least, at minimum, like to have that discussion and comply with, if we can comply with what the residents asked for and get the HR director, I think that's something we need to pursue. We need to at least review it and talk about it.
Well, we can each do our own due diligence and do some research.
Right. And I'll ask.
Bring that to the workshop, yes.
Yeah, Clara, when you do print this, can you do that like tomorrow and just put it in everyone's cubby and they have
Well, I'm more than happy to do that.
an opportunity
happy
to
to
at
do
least see what I did,
Right.
my research, and I encourage everyone to research on their own. I'm not saying, I spent probably half a day on it, researching, and
You had emailed it to me, so after the meeting, I can just forward it to everybody.
Can you just email it?
Yeah.
I'll
To
email
us?
it. I'll just forward it to everybody.
Yeah, I'd rather not have it printed.
Yeah.
I'd
oh,
rather
that's
have
fine.
it. Yeah.
Just as long as it's distributed.
Because it was emailed, I can just forward it by
Right.
email.
Because what I did is I just went to of course, in the summary, I asked some questions to the AI to get an independent thought on it. Then I can provide sources, but it's pretty open. Pinellas County provided me the population, And then I just went to the individual, the town of Bel Air and the city of Indian Rocks Beach for their finance department, what they're actually spending for a similar sized town in Pinellas County.
I think that when you, it'll be interesting to read that and to do the research, but I think that when we talk about our city's more than just the number of residents that we have here. We have over 3.5 million people a year who visit us, and we staff accordingly to that. And our budget grows accordingly to that. So, but I'm happy to have the conversation and to workshop it.
Research how many
Yep.
people come to Indian Rocks Beach.
Not as many as come to Madeira Beach.
Okay.
But I think it's I would be happy to
And then you have
discuss
to
that.
review the tasks, that would be appropriate, you know, that's why I put in 85, and I don't even think we're at 85 employees, I think we're a couple less, 80, 81, 83. But I put in 85 when I was doing my research as far as, you know, what,
I thought we were like 86 or 87. Megan, how many employees do we have? Do you know right off? Okay. Yeah, I thought it was,
okay, but regardless, if you're running payroll, basically, it's done by your systems, I'll say. You know, you may be inputting their hours, but other than that, the system, your software is going to handle that. So,
I'll hold till we have a discussion at a
Sure.
workshop. Yeah,
okay.
Thank you, Ray.
thank you.
Commissioner.
Then do we have a motion for the consultant and software agreements?
Sure, I'll make the motion to amend the Clarion Consulting and Software Agreements.
Do we have a second?
That was to approve those agreements, right? Okay.
Right, I mean, we have, regardless of what our decision will be down the road, we need this now.
I just thought I heard you say amendments to a Clarion consultant instead of
Well, that's
approve.
what, I just read the subject line.
Okay, your motion is to approve agenda item 9A,
Yes.
basically. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we have to have a continuance regardless of what a future decision might be. And
I was just trying to clarify what I heard is the actual motion. That was the only thing I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that case, I second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes.
Commissioner McGeehan,
Yes.
Commissioner Gavayi,
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next on the agenda is ordinance 2025-17, amendment to Chapter 14, Florida Building Code References, second reading and public hearing. City Attorney?
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance 2025-17, an ordinance of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, amending sections 14-30, 14-31, and 14-32 of Article 2, Technical Codes and Standards of Chapter 14 of the City of Madeira Beach Code of Ordinances to remove references to outdated technical codes and standards, providing for conflict, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date. That was the second and final reading of ordinance 2025-17 by title only, and of course, it does require a public hearing.
Do we have any public comment? With no public comment, commissioners, any comments?
I have one question. I guess this requires public hearing, so it could not have been put, just for my own iteration, it couldn't have been put on consent agenda, right?
No, it's correct. It has to be a separate agenda item because it is a public hearing.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments, commissioners?
It seems to be straightforward. I think we talked about this in the workshop, and it was just making it, you know, it's kind of like taking the fees out of each different ordinance. It's just current, you're using current dates instead of actual dates. I'd
Then do we have a motion?
like to make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-17.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner McGeehan,
Yes.
Commissioner Gavayi.
Yes.
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next on the agenda is unfinished business, ARFP for Auditing Services Selection Committee scoring results, and I will hand this to Andrew Laughlin.
Perfect, thank you. So just to summarize, each of you scored the proposals from the RFP for our auditing services independently. And in your packet, I included the results of each of the evaluation committee members, which is the board, and provided those scoring results individually and then combined them all and then displayed the total amount of points to each respondent. So that was my job in this process, to assist you in the evaluation process. If you have any questions, guide you on how the scoring process will work, divvied up into those 4 sections, and then provide you with the scoring results. So based on that information, now you have that information, would like direction on the firm that you all would like to select to be the audit firm for the city of Madeira Beach.
We have no public, so commissioners?
I'll go. Based on the comments and the rating from the commission, I think it's an overwhelming support for Malden and Jenkins, especially when you consider the financial part of it, which I don't think we had privy to at the time. So they are the least cost, and I believe they got the highest rating.
Commissioners?
I agree with Commissioner Curry.
Yes.
Commissioners?
Yes, I also agree.
I agree as well. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we hire the firm of Malden and Jenkins for our auditing services.
Do we have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner Gabaghi,
Yes.
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes?
Commissioner McGeehan,
Yes.
Mayor Brooks. Yes. The motion carried 5-0.
So I added lobbyist here. I didn't specify that when we were agreed to add it, but as it is unfinished business, I thought this would be a good place for us to talk about it. Does anyone have any comments or input?
I do. I believe the discussion was whether we choose to stay with our current firm that we have a contract with, or to reach out to RJ to understand his interest and cost. However, if we're going to do that, I would like to open the floor to other lobbyist firms. I've done some homework here as well. I'd like to at least have a conversation with a few, such as Capital City Consulting. They seem to be a good choice. There are some others, such as Gray Robinson or Corcoran Partners. But if we're going to consider changing, I'd like to have more than just RJ in the discussion. I like RJ. I think he's very personable. I just don't know how effective. I'd really like to get some feedback from Representative Cheney, what her thoughts were, but I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's even allowed. So, I would like to consider at least those firms that I just discussed and see how they've actually, I know other cities in Pinellas County, in and around Pinellas County, have used them. So we could evaluate them based on the number of Pinellas-based clients, legislative wins or appropriations secured, and relationships with key legislatures and committees.
Comments?
I hadn't thought of that, but it makes sense.
Comments?
I agree with Vice Mayor that we should open up the floor for other companies to come in. Also, and I'd like to speak with RJ as well.
So when we met last week, I encouraged everyone to reach out to him, and I know that Megan provided everyone with his contact information, and so if you had reached out to him, he would have made time to meet with you. Here's my concern. He has my comments, he has a proven track record for our city of money and relationships in Tallahassee. We are in a crucial year of dollars that we will need to have advocated for us on a grand level. And my input would be to give him a year. If we're going to start shopping today for a new, and I'm saying that based off of, we got nothing last year. Other than what we got today, and Representative Cheney discussed that, but, so my point being, if we're going to give an opportunity to RJ, I would like him to come and do a presentation at our next meeting, which is on the 22nd. But legislative session for us to submit our appropriations starts in November. So we don't really have months to shop for a new lobbyist firm. If that is the desire of what you all would like to do, then that would be the consensus. I just know that we've worked with him in the past. He did a great representation for us. I made a couple of phone calls to other people besides Representative Cheney and got recommendations. If you can take the time to meet with him, he can provide you with references. But that's my input, and I'm just one of five.
I also heard some good rapport about them. But I have a question. How do we monitor their work?
So they should be coming every month and giving reports. The lobbyist shouldn't just know us. The lobbyist should know employees within the city that firm is lobbying for to get grants. And one of the things that I did do was asked within our employees who knew our current lobbyist and the information that I received back. So I didn't come here last week with an opinion based off of Anne Marie. I came here based off of an opinion of speaking to other people within the city as to their experience, and because we're getting ready to submit. And the feedback I got was much more, it wasn't positive. There wasn't a relationship. And that's important. And those people had a relationship with our previous lobbyist representative. So that's what brought us here last week to the conversation.
I see the issue. It's a little complicated. We need to get started. But I also see that it would be good at this point if we're going to switch lobbyists, look around. Commissioner Kerr, how would you feel if two of us at least have not met? I know I had the opportunity. I just haven't had a chance to reach out to him. If after we make if I could just get a chance to talk to him, and we do it for a year, and then maybe do a search during that time or make a decision later. Is that, you would still rather search first?
Well, I would just like to, let me back up. My opportunity to meet with RJ a couple of years ago, like I said, I like RJ. He was very personable, very, very nice person. We had coffee. We talked about a lot of things. One of the things we talked about was the resiliency of the city, and I was told, don't go there. The state is not going to approve any of that. It was like, well, what are we going for? So as much as I like RJ as a person, I don't know if he has the conviction on some of the things that we're really looking for, such as resiliency. Now, that being said, with the board's approval, I would reach out to not only RJ, but some of the other firms and just see what kind of, what they tell me. You know, is it too late in the year to consider that? You know, what would their fees be? We can look at that. You know, what, you know, get a list, like I mentioned, get a list of their legislative wins, the appropriations that they've secured for their clients in Pinellas County. Do they have clients in Pinellas County? And at least let RJ, if he wants to do a presentation at the workshop, great. You know, but I feel like we're not doing a full due diligence. The mayor mentioned his, you know, what he's brought to the city. Do you have some quick summary of that, by chance? The successes?
I do.
Great, wonderful.
Hold on. It'll take me just 1 second.
Yeah.
Because I requested a list from someone else. Roadway improvements, I'm going to round to the nearest 550,000. The beach groin rehabilitation, $1,750,000. Undergrounding, $1 million. The Johns Pass dredging, $1,560,000. A seawall replacement, $100,000. I don't know the years. Those were the most recent. Those were all
So
what
RJ
he
was,
did.
RJ was
Our lobbyist for all of those.
for all of those. Okay,
Yes.
good.
So I'm not trying to like push him in or anything. That's not my intent. So if it is the desire that we get presentations, this isn't a bid process. This falls outside of having to bid. However, I don't think that we should vote on anything that makes anyone up here uncomfortable. We've been fair to do that, right? To be fair. So we have on the 22nd, we could ask RJ to come and do a presentation. If you had someone else, we could get the city manager to reach out and request them to come for that presentation. And then I would think that at that meeting, we would be able to come to a consensus.
At that time.
Would that be an acceptable?
I like that idea.
That's fine. So is the direction that I not reach out to any of these? Give this,
Well, I'm not going to reach out to RJ for a presentation. I'm going to ask the city manager to.
Okay.
So I think it would be, that would, I mean, to me, that would be the most appropriate.
I could definitely forward this to the acting city manager and ask him to do just that. Ask for, you know, their interest and the evaluation. There's 3 bullet things that I've asked for. Number of Pinellas-based clients, their wins and appropriations, and their relationship with key state legislatures and committees. I think, yeah.
So we would meet we have our meeting in October on the 22nd, and it's a workshop. And then our only meeting in November, we hold on the 12th. So whatever decision we make, we could vote on that at that time. Do we want to vote today to notify our current lobbyist that we're going to leave our contract with them?
What's their contract
We
look
have to
like?
give a notice.
Is it a 30-day contract? Does anyone?
The city attorney,
I would be careful to give a notice of termination before you've got someone else on board. Maybe
Okay.
no one else will take on the responsibility and you've just cut your ties and have no lobbyist.
Okay.
So
That's-
just my
nope,
suggestion. Okay.
that's great advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question, just because I don't know. I'm asking, so is the lobbyist typically hired by this board or the city manager?
It would be by you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You may authorize the city manager to sign the contract, but this is a big deal. It
Right.
would come here. Yeah.
Yes, so I would be in favor of having RJ make a presentation.
Okay,
for us.
then we will have that on our agenda for the workshop.
Okay, great idea.
Great idea.
Okay, awesome, thank you. Next on the agenda is contracts agreements. A is the property purchase approval of contract. City attorney, city manager.
No worries. Mayor Commission, what you have before you is the clean copy, seller signed copy of the real estate agreement for the property at 555 150th Avenue. In that packet is also two appraisals, one coming in at 21 million and one coming in at 27.5 million. The agreed upon price is 18 million, and they are asking for 50,000 due in 5 days after agreement, and then a 10/22 closing date.
We have no public for comment, commissioners. Comments?
I'll start us off. Why not? I want to roll. This piece of property is an opportunity that will only come by us once. I say that, I think it did come by the board a few decades ago or something, and they did not take it. I could be wrong on that. It is a very large investment for a small city such as ours. However, I can only speak personally of the vision that I have for Madeira Beach being a fishing town, to have a suitable marina and attraction for the tourism that keeps us going. I did reach out to Attorney Trask and ask if we could, what would limit us from making this a revenue generating it's 4.5 acres, 4.6 acres. Let's say we wanted to put in the marina, and not only all the marina services that we have at our existing marina, but other services where people would come in and actually have short-term rental there, stays, VRBO type stays, or longer term, or the response was that since it was not in a residential neighborhood, that we would be able to actually have that as to have a return on our investment. Who knows how that would be developed? That's too far down the road to really figure out. But I would support the purchase.
I also agree with that. I think it's a great investment for the city. I believe that we're going to purchase a piece of property that's actually under the appraised value. Anytime you come across something like a property like this, I think the city should take advantage of it, and the residents and the tourists alike will really enjoy this and the future of Madeira Beach. So.
The two commissioners have said just about everything. I like the idea that we're in control of what people see first when they come over Tom Stewart Causeway for a change. We get to decide what it looks like, and I think that's very positive. Plus everything Commissioner Kerr and Commissioner McGeehan said.
So I have a couple of questions. Question number one, how are we going to pay for this? What sort of an interest rate can we pay for it? Second is obviously long-term. It appears what I'm hearing is we want to be in the business of retail or overnight accommodation, how that's addressed. I'm thinking maybe some cities do this already. I'm not 100% sure. I would like to look into it to see how they manage properties and businesses and leases and things of that nature. Do we need to respond to this proposal pretty quickly?
We're voting on it today, yes or no, to purchase it. Andrew can answer to the financing part of it, but I would like to say that I have been advocating for this purchase of this property for many, many, many months. And the opportunity, and what I have said several times, is the purchase is the easy part. It's what do you do with it after you purchase it? So, and I think that's a discussion that will be community involvement. There'll be a lot of involvement in that conversation. We know we need an area for a public works building. The aspect of having boat slips all around the property and making it a primarily recreation green space. There is money. I've already spoken with some of our elected officials. There's money on the federal level and on the state level to help fund not only the boat slips at a 50-50 split, but other things that we could do there. This is a prime time for us to make a purchase of a piece of property that can get incorporated into our master plan, and then for it to be part of our strategic planning that we're going to do, and hopefully in the next few months, and have something for the city that is fantastic. If you look down at City of St. Pete, they purchased property for the sole purpose of recreation. Clearwater's done it. I believe Dunedin has done it. Safety Harbor, I think, has done it. So the opportunity to own a piece of property that will take us some time to make all the decisions on doesn't come along. And I don't can't think of any other piece of property in the city that we could purchase and make such an impact on the residents long-term as this piece of property would be. Now, so that's the paying of the building it out. And once you come to the decision on how to build out that boat slip area, extension of the marina, then that is going to be revenue generating. And Andrew can speak to how we will physically pay for it and what our options are.
Let me just clarify, I am in favor of the property, but, I would like to do some due diligence. I'm sure due diligence happened. Maybe there's some geotechnical engineering that was done to see what sort of a soil we might have there. Do we have any environmental concerns like level 1? Just a couple of concerns I have.
I think
That's been done.
That was addressed in the contract itself.
Yeah, okay. It's in the
So I
contract.
believe it's if we vote to move forward and purchase this, I believe that there's some earnest money, $50,000 or something that has gone into escrow, but your concerns were in the contract that I
Yes,
reviewed.
they are.
So my only other 2 cents is that Kimley Horn had mentioned that they were successful in getting their largest grant, ironically, for this type of purchase for the city, for a city, was $18 million. So my only concern is that by purchasing it before we get a grant, are we still eligible to get a grant? Don't know, but I think tomorrow morning, I think I'd get them on the horn and find out, the Kimley Horn, and tell them of what we plan to do and see what they can do to help us secure a grant for a marina. That one young lady that was here, I think it was either Louisiana or one of those states where she was adamant about marinas, and she just, every city such as ours, that is such a big deal.
Working marinas, there's a lot of money for that.
Yeah, so, like the mayor mentioned, we'll have workshops over workshops on what the plan will look like if we secure this property. Yeah, if we can get grant money in addition to that, oh my Lord, it makes it a no-brainer. I had one other thought and I've lost it because I'm getting old.
Well, I would love to hear what Andrew says about
Yes, about the money
Commissioner
side of it.
Gawai's first question, how are we going to pay for it?
Yes.
Sure. So good news is we've got flexibility. So what we currently have in cash and short-term investments in the local government investment pool totals almost $40 million. So about 38 million, I think, current cash and liquid investments on hand. So my proposal would be that if we're moving forward with this closing towards the end of October, that we pay out of current reserves, out of current available cash. What I would recommend is that we do go through a reimbursement resolution at the next regular meeting, which should be in November, and that would preserve the city's ability to engage in a tax-exempt finance at a future date. So basically, the city can reimburse itself for the $18 million paid in a tax-exempt financing. And I don't necessarily want to rush that because we have this I think we got almost 40 million in the bank, but now we're going to spend 18 million on the land. We've got stormwater improvement projects and various projects and areas that we're looking at. We've got our development on this property. What is that going to look like? What are those development costs going to be? So, it's not just necessarily, and we could say, let's just go do a bank RFP and get a bank loan for a tax-exempt financing for all or a part of that 18 million. And then we can worry about the development stuff and how much that's going to cost. Maybe wrap that in with other projects and other that we're going to endeavor to perform over the next 2 to 3 years and do a separate debt issuance for that. I also want to find out more about the intended purpose of the land itself, that if there's going to be any kind of P3, a public-private partnership, and there's going to be business use not under the control of the city, that could affect the tax-exempt nature of the financing. And why do we want tax-exempt financing? Because that'll be a lower debt service cost, lower interest rate. So all these are things that we need to consider and talk about. But the good news is we don't have to make this decision in the immediate near term because we do have cash on hand available to go ahead and stroke a check and make the purchase. But all these things are going through my mind now, and that what I'll work with collectively with leadership and the commission to determine what are these, not only the purchase costs, but also the development costs, both for the land as well as other big ticket items that we have, and have a more all-encompassing financing plan, which could be a fixed loan, or it could be a commercial paper program, kind of a line of credit facility where there's drawdown. So a lot of different options we can pursue. I don't have all those answers on that. I just know if you do want to move forward with this purchase, we can do that without immediately borrowing funds. But there are things that we're going to need to strategize for long-term, and that will require borrowing. Hope that helps.
Thanks.
That's great. I did remember what I was thinking.
Okay.
There is a very large contingency of people that live on their boats and just travel the world. And they find marinas where they might stay for a week, they might stay for a month, and then they move on to another marina. There is a captive audience for that type of revenue. There's so many revenue generating options that would still keep it as a marina and still keep it to the true spirit of what, in my opinion, we want Madeira Beach to be. and I just wanted to bring that to light.
So you're talking about transient slips. So our current marina has transient slips that houses, or docks, who you're exactly talking about. Those people like the loopers that
Yeah,
do that,
yeah,
right?
the loopers,
That
yeah.
they come in and there are slips that are dedicated. And if Krabby was here, he could speak specifically to it, but roughly it is, when we got the grant to build those docks, it was a requirement to get that funding that we had to have so many slips dedicated to transient slips.
Are they pretty full?
Yeah, yeah, surprisingly. I think the marina is on like a 2-year wait.
Right,
And
but
then
there-
the
there-
transient slips
There's very
stay.
limited services at the marina currently. Yeah, you can get
Correct.
fuel, but that's it. There's no,
And people still come.
right. so-
Yeah.
so
I mean, I
imagine-
can see 'em from-
Imagine, if yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just say imagine, and leave it at
That's the
that.
part of, to me, buying the property is the easy part. That's the super easy part. The next part is, we know we have this need, but it's only a small portion of the property. What do we do with the rest of it? Marcy, did you want to share anything?
Commissioner Gabai, you had mentioned the soils and environmental. I did receive a packet from Clint, and because there's been projects proposed on there, they have done a lot of geotechnical work, and there's no real identified anomalies. Most of them were like the piles going to 30 feet, standard 14-inch squared. So the soils reports look good. And the environmental report, when it was done, while they identified various minor things, the environmental phase 1 came back fine. So, and that was as of like 2018, and I think the environmental report was maybe 2020. But since the property's not been developed since then, so.
Understood. We have an up-to-date survey, right? Is there a survey on the property already?
There was a survey attached to the document, not one that we've commissioned, so I'm not sure if we're doing that.
We haven't done the survey ourselves. We've received 2 appraisals.
That boat dock, the boat loading area, that is not ours, right? It's the neighbor to the west of us?
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further? Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the purchase of this property.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes?
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner Gabai,
Yes.
Commissioner McGeehan,
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Super excited. Yeah. Yeah. Next on the agenda is Gulf Beaches Public Library Agreement. City Attorney?
I got it.
Oh, I'm sorry, City Manager. I just want to give everything next door.
It'd be easier for me. What you have in your packet is a Gulf Beaches Public Library Service contract for the City of Madeira Beach. It runs through fiscal year FY 25-26. And we give them an amount of $99,078 for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2026.
With no public, commissioners, do you have any comments?
I support this, yeah.
No comments?
No comments.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to enter into agreement with the Gulf Beaches Public Library for the amount.
Do we have a second?
Second?
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner McGeehan,
Yes.
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes?
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner Gabai,
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next on the agenda is new business. A, final FEMA payout for administrative work, Cat Z approval.
So what this is, Mayor and Commissioners, is the final payout from Hurricane Ian in 2022. for administrative work, the final administrative work that Karen Paulson had submitted. It's Category Z, which is the final category, and they're just looking for final approval, and they were asking for Mayor Brooks's signature, and with that, that has to come in front of the board.
With no public, commissioners, do you have any questions or comments?
Do you have a copy of the resolution? Nope.
No.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Resolution about the bank sign.
To me, too. Any comments, commissioners?
Nope. No comment.
City clerk, or do we have a,
I'm not sure how to form the motion.
Yeah. Thanks. That was not provided.
I move that we approve the Cat Z proposal,
payout?
payout.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
City clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes.
Commissioner McGeehan,
Yes.
Commissioner Gabai,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Next on the agenda is Resolution 2025-03, Madeira Beach authorized signers on bank account. City Attorney?
Okay, I have it as Resolution 2025-10. Is that the correct resolution number?
Yes.
Clara?
That is what I see in the packet.
Okay. So this is a resolution of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, designated authorized signers of banking documents for the City of Madeira Beach by repealing Resolution 2022-03 and any other resolution in conflict herewith, and by providing for an effective date. That was reading Resolution 2025-10 by title only. The whole purpose of this resolution is to just take Robin's name off of the bank documents and put Chief Phelps' name on it.
With no public comment, commissioners, do you have any questions or comments?
That's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
I move we approve Resolution 2025-10.
Do we have a second?
Second.
City clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes.
Commissioner Gabai,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner McGeehan,
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next on the agenda is acting city manager pay. City manager?
All right, Mayor and Commissioners, it was brought to my attention that we should probably figure out some type of a pay arrangement for doing the acting city manager role. And what I propose is, I think is pretty fair, just the new city manager's proposed salary minus my salary, and whatever that difference is, split it or divided by 12, and however many months I'm sitting in this seat is what I get. And it came out to just over $4,600. But I said to the mayor, $4,500, it would be fine with me. I'd be more than happy with that. But if you feel free to just have any discussion you'd like.
With no public,
I think Chief Belka is being very generous with his offer, in my opinion. I had calculated higher number. If he's comfortable with that amount, I think that's more than fair.
This has happened before, I understand, where we had the chief step in as acting city manager. And how was it handled back then?
I tried to find his. He went under contract, and I don't know if he went into an interim status, because I'm acting and I'm filling a vacancy until it's filled, and he went into an interim status, and he had a contract, and I was trying to find it because it had verbiage in there that if this didn't work out in the interim basis, that he could revert back to the firehouse or his previous position as fire chief. But I was not able to find that, and so I'm not sure how it was handled in the past previously.
Okay, so right now you still have both titles, acting fire chief and acting
Yes.
city manager.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree with Commissioner Taglerini. Our acting city manager is being more than generous, and I totally agree.
I agree with the rest of the team. I'm just wondering, once we get a city manager and you're back in your own position, how you would feel.
He's going to feel fabulous, and they're going to love to have him back, because his team said we could borrow him, but we couldn't keep him. And I assured them that we would send him back in one solid, whole, well piece.
We'll see.
No.
I also want to take this opportunity to say, again, I've said it before, that if we're going to attract a quality candidate, we need to consider a marketable salary.
I agree.
That's all. Just because it's mentioned that the salary, that salary, we're going to have to take someone, so we need to entice them. I just want to say that again.
So that being said, at our workshop, at the end of the month, we're going to workshop the position and I believe that the company that is going to do the search will be here. Great. And so I think that would be a perfect time for us to workshop what you're saying, and maybe some other positions within the city as well that we're trying to fill, being the building official, and see where we lie on that. But I totally agree with you, Commissioner.
And also for some food for thought, in preparation of that workshop, just going down the beach, Treasure Island city managers, the range is 175,000 to 200. St. Pete Beach is 240,000, and Gulfport is 202,000 or 203. I can't remember, one of the two. But to be competitive, we're going to have to approach $200,000. We don't, in my opinion, we wouldn't want a retread. No disrespect to anybody, or somebody who's in between jobs. I feel like if we can entice somebody to leave their current position and make this look as attractive as we can, we're going to get the best candidate.
I agree.
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
So do we have a motion
I move that we approve Chief Belk's recommendation.
of?
4,500.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Per what? Week, month,
Oh,
year?
Month.
Per
Month.
month. Okay. We need to make sure we get that in the motion.
Sorry, I thought
so-
that was understood. Sorry.
Yeah. Just-
Do we have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Taglerini,
Yes.
Commissioner Gabayou.
Yes.
Commissioner McGinn,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Kerr, Mayor Brooks,
Yes.
motion carried 5-0.
Mayor, if I could also I just want to make sure that we have a clear idea. This is going to be prorated back to the day that he took the position. This is not something moving forward from October 1st, correct?
Correct.
As an understanding, it's going to be prorated back to the date that he started as acting city manager, right? Okay.
Yes.
I'm seeing all heads nod, yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. Next on the agenda is D, Civil Service Commission appointment, and I will hand this to the city clerk.
Yes. Currently, there's one member term expiring on October the 30th, 2025, and that seat is held by Jerry Cantrell, and he submitted an application for that to serve a new 3-year term, and that will be expiring October 30th, 2028. So the recommendation is to appoint Jerry Cantrell to serve a new term on the Civil Service Commission. The term will be expiring on 10/30/28.
With no one in, public for comment, do we have any comments, commissioners?
Mayor, Mr. Cantrell has asked me to speak on his behalf, if it's okay. He's, as you know, he's a teacher, and he is attending the military academy graduation of one of his former students who invited him, and it's in Dallas. So he's rarely out of town, but he happens to be out of town. He really wanted to be here. I just want to point out that he's been doing the job as chair for quite a while now. He has a degree in electronic engineering. He has a master's degree in environmental engineering. He's worked with biomedical engineering in hospitals, and he teaches physics and AP physics and honors physics for Florida Virtual. And I think he would be a wonderful candidate to continue doing the job, and he's very willing to do it.
With no public comment? I already said that. Do we have any other comments by the commission?
I support Jerry wholeheartedly. I think everyone
Yes,
should be
quality.
recognized.
I do too. So do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we appoint Jerry Cantrell to the Civil Service Commission.
Do we have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Vice Mayor Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner Taglerini.
Yes.
Commissioner McGinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Gavayi.
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-0.
Next on the agenda is agenda setting for October 22nd, our regular BOC workshop at 6 p.m. In addition to A through E, I wrote down that we would add city manager position description pay, a Clarion finance director discussion. We'll have R.J. Myers and whoever else comes. Is there anything else that the commission would like to see on our workshop?
Mayor, I don't see the noise discussion again, and I don't know, I thought Marcy was in here, but I felt like she was going to present a rewording or this recommendation for ease of enforcement, and I'd also like to include Deputy Schneider on that discussion, if possible.
We definitely can add it. I thought that what we learned was that we couldn't change our noise ordinance because of Senate Bill.
We can't be more restrictive.
Right.
But we can educate, and I'd like to get feedback from Deputy Schneider. What would make it easier to enforce? What is unclear? And I felt like Marcy was going to provide something like that for us.
So we could have that on the.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
So-
I'd also just like to make sure that for the recommendation of our amendment to the swim zone, that we have Deputy Schneider and Deputy Seam here for that as well, available for input.
Okay.
Have we provided our wish list for the upcoming legislative session?
I believe that we decided that in our last meeting, what would go, it was Public Works was going to take the primary role.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
We don't have to vote on that. It was just a discussion, and then staff will present that and put it through.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to talk about it at the next meeting again, we can.
No, I just thought at one point we were asked to basically do our homework and come back with a list. The next meeting after that was a board meeting, which it was not for that meeting. It was for the following workshop, and then it was never brought up. You know, I recall the discussion on the Public Works building, but that, you know, we're just going after one item? That's
No. Mm-mm. So in our last meeting, there was, because Megan Wepfer was not able to be here, the city manager presented on her behalf the projects that she had, and I could pull it up and tell you.
Yeah, the resiliency, the undergrounding.
So let me see if I can find it. Data appropriation request. So the Public Works and Fire Department training facility was one of the things to present. And then the next several projects were road projects for drainage and improvement.
Right, and it was presented, or the way I took it, as these are it was almost like a capital budget wish list for the next several years. But it didn't really cover any of the wish lists, like the resiliency, the undergrounding in the residential areas. It didn't, those items I don't believe were discussed. If that's not what the board wishes to.
We could add it to the next workshop, but it has always been my understanding that they won't fund undergrounding in a residential neighborhood. That has been my understanding repeatedly when I've asked.
But things have they changed? I guess that's my question, and that was my conversation with RJ. You know, back then, resiliency, undergrounding was not an option. However, due to the storms and to the federal government having more of a focus on resiliency in coastal communities or in all communities, that, has that changed? And that was one of the pushbacks that I had. Well, we're not going to ask that question because we know what the answer is. Well, if we're not going to push, these are the things that we need. We need to talk about a bed tax to fund our public safety. That was one of the things that was high on my list. I didn't, I want to take the burden of public safety costs for 3 million people off the backs of 4,000.
That's not submitting, that's not an appropriation request, though. What you're talking about is not an appropriation request.
It's not appropriation, but it's legislative.
It is legislative, but do you want to have legislative discussion? Because you're crossing over.
Well, I know, but it's a wish list for our lobbyists to take to Tallahassee, is what I'm getting
Okay,
at.
so that's not what we workshopped. What we workshopped was what appropriations we actually wanted to put forward to get the elected officials to fight for us, not what we wanted to have our lobbyists lobby for on our behalf. Those are two completely different things.
Yeah, and
I know what you're saying, Vice Mayor Kerr, but it's two different. Lobbying for something and asking for
And
specific
during the
money for a
legislative session,
project.
don't they discuss these types of things as well?
They do.
Okay. Well, that's my point. We're taking this list to Representative Cheney.
No, this is what I'm telling you. The appropriations is specific dollars we're asking for. We have to go into a portal and ask for them. Having the conversation on what we want a lobbyist to lobby for is a separate conversation.
Well, then
That's what I'm saying.
That's the
So-
conversation we need to have.
Okay, that's a conversation we can have, but you can't commingle them because they're two different things.
Okay, in my mind, they're all going to the same place.
But they're not.
They're all going to our representatives. How they address them may be different, because I know, they're having the discussion on the property taxes and how do we fund the cities, but regardless of that, in my opinion, if this community was inland and we did not have tourists, we would not have the expenses that we have with our police, our fire, and our EMS. They'd be a fraction with the same 4,000 residents. And that's just my opinion. And
I don't disagree with your opinion. I'm just saying it's two separate items. You're talking two separate things. If you want to talk to the lobbyist about what we want them to lobby for, that's one conversation, because lobbying for something like that is different than you're lobbying to get them to change policy, to change something. The appropriations that we're asking for is specific money, dollars for something. So we're specifically saying, here's a project, it's going to take us 5 years.
I get
Right.
that. I know what a person.
So it's two separate things.
I understand. But they all go to the same house.
But it's two separate things. It doesn't actually go to the same house. It may end up being Representative Cheney, or it could be Representative DeSigley. It's different representatives that lobby for different things. Those are the kinds of things that your lobbyist comes to this meeting and tells us who that person is.
But they're
And
all
what
in
to do.
Tallahassee is what I'm saying.
Are there specific appropriations committees, though?
Yes,
So appropriations is going to go before those committees.
that is correct.
Whereas legislation is to the
100%.
And I
board as a
understand
whole.
that, but I'm just saying, we've never had the final discussion on what are our priorities to take to Tallahassee.
Well, let's have that discussion. But the appropriations specifically request, I wanted to say, we also discuss continuation of the Marina Seawall project and addition of public docks at ROC Park. So those were things that were on the list. We prioritized public works, but those are going to go to specific appropriations committees.
Correct. That is correct.
I'm all in favor of lobbying for changes in legislations.
So we can have lobby for whatever it is. We can have a conversation at the workshop on lobbying for what, to make that list that you're talking about.
Right, legislative
Yeah.
action. Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Anything else?
Good? No, thank you.
The next on the agenda is reports and correspondence, Board of Commissioners 2025 meeting schedule. And City Clerk, I'll hand this over to you for 2025 and 2026.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the report, A, B, and C.
Yes, ma'am. For the 2025 BOC meeting schedule, I would like, I'm hoping that we can have the December workshop and regular meeting change from 2 to 4 to 4 to 6. I've missed my Pinellas County City Clerks
I thought we
Association.
voted to do that.
November we did.
I thought we voted for December also.
We could have. But we would like to do it for December.
I actually only have it changed for December, not for November.
Oh, I have it changed on November and December.
Well, maybe I just missed it, but I do have it changed on my calendar for December to 2 and 4 on December 10th.
Number the 10th. Yeah, I also have that.
You have it at 2 and 4?
In December.
Oh, I had it at 4 and 6.
I was asking if we can change December to 4 and 6.
Oh, go back to 4.
Yes.
No, it
before-
was already 2 and 4 originally.
Okay.
Yes. And then so at the last meeting, the November meetings were changed to 4 and 6. So I was hoping you would also change December to 4 and 6.
I had already changed it. I thought we had.
I have no issues with that.
I went on ahead and changed it in here just in case for fingers crossed.
Are you okay with that?
Sorry, I guess I made an error in my calendar. I changed it for December 10th, but to be honest, all those options are fine with me
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, they're on December 10th. I haven't written down here for 4 and 6, just keeping my fingers crossed that it would get changed to 4 and 6 from 2 and 4 to 4 and 6. So, okay, so that take care of that. And do we have any changes for 2026 so far? And we'll visit this every month.
I don't have any changes needed.
Okay.
Not yet.
Commission, any?
I do not.
Now, for the BOC, for the Board of Commissioners 2025 meetings report, it's updated through the end of September, and it's for informational purposes only. I had one change by Commissioner Gavayi on a date there, and so I'll fix that. And unless anybody else has anything, not, it's informational purposes. And then on mine, of course, we have the municipal elections on March the 10th, 2026. And we have the candidate qualifying period that starts Monday, December the 1st, 2025 at noon, and it ends at noon on Friday, December the 12th, 2025. That's always the first 2 full weeks of December, and it excludes the weekends. And, of course, candidates have an opportunity to pre-file before then by filing the DSDE 9, the appointment of campaign treasurer and designation of campaign depository with the city clerk, and then within 10 days of that, and can also do that on the same day, file the DSDE 84, which is the statement of candidate, and being it's already October, any earlier than that, you're on the quarterly financial reporting. And so if you file now, during this quarter, that report is not due until January the 10th, but then it changes after the qualifying period, which is, it's more often. And then you're also allowed to, within 14 days of the starting of the qualifying period, to file other qualifying papers. The only thing you cannot, but it does not get accepted, those, the DSDE 9 and the DSDE 84 will get accepted where you can proclaim to be a candidate, but the documents that are turned in within the 14 days of qualifying period, I can't stamp those in until until qualifying period starts. And the only thing you can't do until qualifying period starts, you pay your fees during that time once you get qualified, of course. And then, but once you pre-file, you're more than welcome to go out and start collecting your signatures. And there's just 25 signatures, so you can take your time, whatever, or give you time to knock on everybody's door if you'd like to do that.
Great.
Thank you.
Welcome.
D on the agenda is Board of Commissioners reports and correspondence. Do any of the commissioners have any comments that you'd like to make or conversation?
I reached out to the mayor and city managers of Treasure Island and St. Pete Beach, because I just wanted to understand their swim zone situation. I just wanted to let you know I'd reached out to them. I haven't heard back yet. It's been, I guess, 2 days, so I will follow up on that and let you know. I just want to make sure that we're making informed decisions that support our businesses, but also are being aware of public safety.
I had shared with Marcy the ordinance for St. Pete Beach for their swim zone, so if you would like to email and ask her for that.
Oh, ask Marcy.
Yeah,
Okay.
ask her to
Okay. Got it.
share that with you. That might be something you would
Thanks.
find informational as
Yeah,
well.
thank you.
Great.
Vice Mayor, any comments or anything?
Nothing.
Commissioners, any
Good.
comments or anything?
Thank you.
Okay. Then next on the agenda is the city attorney.
Mayor, Commissioners, I just wanted you to remind you or bring to your attention, if you had not read the emails, the Snack Shack concessionaire has threatened litigation against the city. I received a third letter from the attorney recently where he makes that threat. I think I forwarded that letter on to you. I have responded to that letter by an email yesterday setting forth what my legal position is on that. I don't really want to discuss the specifics of it tonight, but I wanted you to know that for those of you who haven't gotten to your emails yet on that, I have not received a response to the email yet. But if you have specific questions about my position or about our legal standing or anything like that, please call me independently. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. Because there is the threat of litigation, I would ask you to use extreme caution when you're talking to the concessionaire. Either, I don't believe the attorney will contact you directly because he knows that you're represented, but when talking to the concessionaire as to what your personal position is on the matter, I would just refer them all to me, and I'll handle it from there. So anyhow, that's just a short update.
Thank you. Thank you.
City manager?
I have no report.
We had no public comments at the beginning of the meeting, so it is 7:28. We are adjourned.